Welcome to Weekly News Highlights. The World Health Organization, or the WHO, said it was declaring the China coronavirus outbreak that has killed 170 people in China a global emergency as cases spread to 18 countries. WHO Director General stated at a news conference in Geneva that recent weeks have witnessed an unprecedented outbreak which has been met by an unprecedented response. The declaration of a global emergency triggers recommendations to all countries. It is aimed at preventing or reducing cross-border spread of the disease. According to the latest WHO data, the vast majority of the more than 7,800 cases detected globally have been in China, where the virus originated in an illegal wildlife market in the city of Wuhan. But nearly 100 cases have emerged in other countries, spurring cuts to travel, outbreaks of anti-China sentiment in some places, and a surge in demand for protective face masks. Israeli police stormed Jerusalem's flashpoint Al-Aqsa Mosque, injuring at least 10 worshippers and detaining 3 others. According to Palestinian officials, thousands of Palestinians were heading to Al-Aqsa Mosque to perform the morning prayer when Israeli police attacked and fired rubber-coated rounds at them and forced the worshippers to leave the compound. Israel also tightened restrictions around the old city of Jerusalem and searched the worshippers coming from the Arab towns in Israel and East Jerusalem. It marked the 3rd Friday in a row that Israeli police stormed Al-Aqsa Mosque and attacked worshippers after morning prayers. The special representative of the Secretary-General and head of the United Nations Support Mission in Libya, Hassan Salameh, expressed his deep anger and disappointment over intensifying conflict in Libya despite a high-level summit held in the German capital Berlin earlier this month. Salameh also urged the parties and their foreign sponsors to stop reckless action and instead renew their expressed commitment to work towards a ceasefire. The remarks came as thousands have been killed in fighting between factions of the self-styled Libyan National Army led by Khalifa Haftar and the internationally recognized government in Tripoli. After 3.5 years since the 2016 Brexit referendum, Britain will finally become the first ever country to leave the European Union as it exits an hour before midnight from the bloc it joined in 1973. Prime Minister Boris Johnson is expected to address the nation while Brexit supporters are planning celebrations across the country, and Remain voters will be holding similar protest events all over Britain. The EU will be deprived of 15% of its economy, its biggest military spender, and the world's international financial capital of London. The divorce will shape the fate of the United Kingdom and determine its wealth for generations to come. Kuwaiti institutions and bodies concerned with humanitarian work continued their activities by supporting those in need during the past week, especially in Iraq, aiding war-stricken people, and Bangladesh, where Rohingya refugees live in squalid conditions. Kuwait distributed 120 tons of food supplies to poor and needy families, besides supplying some schools in El Mosul, northern Iraq, with equipment offered by the Kuwaiti International Islamic Charitable Organization. The state of Kuwait also had offered supplies for schools, with up to 5 fully equipped schools due to donations from the Kuwaiti organization. Secretary-General of the Arab League, Ahmed Abu Ghaid, discussed with President Mahmoud Abbas the latest development in Palestine with emphasis on the U.S. proposal for peace in the Middle East. According to a press release from the League, Abu Ghaid reaffirmed the commitment of the Arab countries to supporting the Palestinian people in their fair struggle. On the Arab Foreign Ministers' meeting, Abu Ghaid highlighted the need of reaching decisions that could serve the Palestinian stance on the new U.S. plan. The Secretary-General cast doubts on the timing and way of the declaration of the U.S. plan, saying they require a precise response from the Arab countries. Abu Ghaid added, the Arab public opinion understands and appreciates the Palestinian stance regarding the requirements of the current stage. Libyan National Army sources said Turkey has started building a military base inside Metila International Airport in the Libyan capital, Tripoli. The source said that Ankara is planning to bolster its military presence in Libya through a secret military base. Turkish officers are also assisting at the Operation Command Center, affiliated with militias that are loyal to the Government of National Accord, or the GNA. The source's comments coincides with reports that said Turkey was seeking to bring in more mercenaries and fighters from Kenya and Somalia to back the GNA. The U.S. Senate voted against calling witnesses and collecting new evidence in President Donald Trump's impeachment trial, clearing the way for Trump's almost certain acquittal in the coming days. By a vote of 51 to 49, the Republican-controlled Senate stopped Democrats' drive to hear testimony from witnesses like former National Security Advisor John Bolton, who is thought to have first-hand knowledge of Trump's efforts to pressure Ukraine to investigate a political rival, former Vice President Joe Biden. Those actions prompted the Democratic-controlled House of Representatives to formally charge Trump with abuse of power and obstruction of Congress in December. That made Trump only the third president in U.S. history to be impeached. He denies wrongdoing and has accused Democrats of an attempted coup. The 8th annual Mbarakia Expo for Youth completed its first out of 5 phases that is held until the 29th of February at Souk Mbarakia. The event aims at preparing youth for a future of self-employment and self-reliance, with young people showcasing their traditional products, retaining the market's aura with the visitors and community. More with Yusuf Salim.
Under the patronage of His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, the 8th edition of Al-Mbarakia Expo for Youth concludes its first stage out of 5 stages that remain till the 29th of February at Souk Al-Mbarakia in the capital of Kuwait City. Young merchants shine in the historical market, showcasing a mix of modern and traditional products with the visitors and community.
I'm here in Mbarakia in this fantastic festival of local products, and I would like to invite everybody to come. I even recently bought some candles, beautiful candles, smell very good. There are 2 types, and so you should come here and see the delicacies, all the products here.
I am so happy because I am here in the exhibition, and this is my project. It's a very small project. I have a scarf and hanger and some of the accessories, and here the atmosphere, it's very nice and comfortable. Yeah, and everybody are happy here.
My items, it's coffee, okay, and we have a Kuwaiti traditional sweet. I have 7 items of coffee. We have pistachio coffee and zaffaran latte, red velvet, blueberry, ice americano, Spanish latte.
Waves of wonderful historical heritage are on display across the old traditional Souk Al-Mbarakia, with youth merchants experiencing the rich traditional ambience of trading in the atmosphere of the historical market. The event is held till the 29th of February, with 4 remaining phases for everyone to enjoy Al-Mbarakia Expo, that is located in the heart of the capital at Souk Al-Mbarakia in Kuwait City.
Iraqi President Barham Saleh appointed Mohammed Tawfiq Alawi as Prime Minister after squabbling parties failed to name a candidate in the 2 months since Adel Abdel Mahdi was ousted by mass protests. Alawi, who vowed to hold early internationally monitored elections, must form a new government within a month and will likely get stuck between powerful parties vying for cabinet posts, prolonging the political deadlock. Alawi said that he would resign if political blocs attempted to impose candidates for cabinet jobs and called on protesters to continue demonstrating until their demands are met. The Ministry of Health hosted a ceremony as Abdullah AlSalim area was officially registered into the Regional Health Cities Network. The event, held at Naif Palace, was attended by the Governor of the Capital Governorate, as well as several officials from the Ministry of Health and heads of the Health Cities program. Mohammed Al-Anezi has the details in the following report.
In the attendance of the Governor of the Capital Governorate, the Ministry of Health held an event to announce the registration of Abdullah AlSalim area on the Regional Health Cities Network that is affiliated with the World Health Organization. Healthy Cities is a global initiative created by the World Health Organization and adopted by the State of Kuwait as one of the developmental plan projects.
Today was a special day for us. It was a happy occasion. His Excellency, the Mayor of Governor of Al-Asima, have signed today the registration form for entry of Dahiyat Abdullah AlSalim to be one of the cities seeking to be accredited as healthy cities on the regional network of healthy cities. This is quite important. By that, Abdullah AlSalim joins the other 10 cities of Kuwait who have been registered on the network, and one of them has been accredited, which is El Yarmouk. This is quite important for Kuwait because as much as it is important that we put policies in governmental sectors, it is important that the community participation is essential, and this is where the Healthy Cities initiative comes. It is a community-based initiative. It is about the people in the community taking the responsibility of improving their health.
The Healthy Cities program philosophy is based on the concern of the population and the goal of advancing health in their city. Efforts are focused on promoting health through the advancement of all aspects, such as environmental, social, structural, and educational. Abdullah AlSalim becomes the 5th area in the Capital Governorate to join the program, with more areas in the pipeline to be registered in Healthy City programs in the future. This event also coincides with the launch of the Healthy Cities website that will show all the areas registered and allow visitors to see projects and get information on the Healthy Cities program.
The Turkish military shelled terrorist targets east of Syria's Ras Al Ain town as it continued to carry out cross-border operations west of the Euphrates River to drive out terrorist groups including the YPG and the IS from its borders. Meanwhile, the Syrian regime forces and allied groups continued to target residential areas and the Syrian opposition in Aleppo province, which was designated as a de-escalation zone. The regime forces ignored agreements reached in Astana and Sochi as part of the Syrian peace process and captured the largest district of Idlib after prolonged violent clashes with opposition and anti-regime armed groups. A Japanese warship left port near Tokyo on a mission to protect merchant ships and oil tankers passing through the Gulf of Oman that supplies 90% of Japan's oil as tensions in the Middle East simmers. Japan's Self-Defense Force member and commander of the mission, Yosuke Inaba, said the crew members on board are well prepared and will work together to gather intelligence to ensure the safety of Japanese ships. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's government said that it is prepared to authorize force to protect ships in danger, a controversial decision because Japan's war-renouncing constitution forbids the use of military force to settle international disputes. Chinese health authorities announced that 14,380 confirmed cases of pneumonia caused by the coronavirus 2019 nCoV had been reported in 31 of the 34 provincial-level regions, while a total of 304 people have died of the disease. The National Health Commission said in its daily report that 2,110 patients remain in critical conditions and 19,544 people are suspected of being infected with the virus, while a total of 328 people had been discharged from the hospital after recovery. Meanwhile, China's transport authorities have beefed up scrutiny and disinfection at expressway toll gates, airports, and train stations to prevent and control the spread of the coronavirus amid a peak in return trips after the Spring Festival holiday season. The European Union's foreign policy chief, Joseph Borrell, said that the US President Donald Trump's Middle East peace plan cannot succeed without support from all sides. Borrell made the statement following bilateral talks with Jordan's Foreign Minister Ayman al-Safadi in Amman. The initiative, which was endorsed by Israelis but condemned by Palestinians, proposed granting US recognition of Israeli settlements on occupied West Bank land and of Jerusalem as Israel's indivisible capital. However, Safadi stressed on Sunday that Jordan wants the peace plan to establish a Palestinian state with Jerusalem as its capital. Most countries considered Israeli settlements on land captured in war to be a violation of international law. The Kuwait Society for Media and Communication hosts an open dialogue titled Kuwait Media Day, discussing unique experiences inspired around various topics on media. Media experts exchange views on future journalistic approaches, in addition to a ceremony honoring key figures at the headquarters of the National Library of Kuwait. More with Yusuf Salim.
The Kuwaiti Society for Media and Communications hosts a seminar titled Kuwait Media Day. The open invite gathers media experts with a younger generation, passing on valuable knowledge on media encounters, highlighting transformations in the new digital era of journalism.
We're gathered today for a seminar on the media, the reality and inspirations, and it's gonna be about the effects of the digital media and the traditional media. How's this evolution or revolution of the digital media and the big effects, and is it gonna be vanishing the effects of the traditional media? How we can deal with it, how we can put a strategy to deal with this big effect of the digital media. And also at the end, there's going to be an honoring for the media, who is responsible in the media, and we're going to see how it's going to be today.
Hello everyone, I'm so happy to be here in this seminar regarding the media community in Kuwait. Me myself, I participate in some of the media departments here, and I work in the ministry, of course, and I really loved how they spoke about boosting the youth talents in media, and of course those who study media, they would check their ability more and try to boost it in the field of media, social media, and of course TV. And yeah, it was very nice. So best of luck for everyone.
Today we truly enjoyed Kuwait Media Day. We learned a lot. We enjoyed this day truly, and hopefully we have more days like this.
Bright opportunities from the public and private sectors await Generation Y with proposals of activating future measures in the field of mass media, further joined together in a ceremony honoring main figures and veterans that gained radiance in intellectual journalistic literacy, influencing youth to pursue a path in the rise of Kuwaiti media.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Nasser al-Mohammed al-Sabah, met in Jeddah the Secretary-General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Dr. Yusuf al-Uthaymin, and reviewed the OIC session agenda and preparations for the conference. The Foreign Minister will take part in the OIC Emergency Open-Ended Executive Committee Ministerial Meeting, to be held in Jeddah upon the request of the State of Palestine in order to discuss the most recent developments with regards to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. Furthermore, the organization's position on US President Donald Trump's so-called deal of the century will also be discussed. Regime forces and allies continue targeting residential areas and Syrian opposition in Aleppo province, which was designated as a de-escalation zone. Syria's regime seized Muka, Marhatat, and Irmania villages in southern Idlib with Russian air support. The regime forces ignored agreements reached in Astana and Sochi as part of the Syrian peace process and captured the largest district of Idlib after prolonged violent clashes with opposition and anti-regime armed groups. The northwestern corner of Syria, including Idlib province and adjoining areas of Aleppo, is the last major rebel foothold in Syria. National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al-Ghanim announced during the Assembly's regular session the dismissal of the vote of confidence item regarding the Minister of Social Affairs, Dr. Ghadir Asiri, from the Parliament's agenda after accepting the minister's resignation. The National Assembly followed Decree No. 41 of 2020, accepting the resignation of Dr. Asiri, as well as Decree No. 42 of 2020, appointing Walid Al-Jassim as Acting Minister of Social Affairs, in addition to being Minister of State for Municipal Affairs. Meanwhile, the Speaker said that the MPs will look into the readiness of government bodies, mainly the Health Ministry, regarding the coronavirus outbreak. And with regards to the recently unveiled U.S. Middle East peace plan, the Speaker added that MPs will also consider the so-called deal of the century, stressing that discussing the latest U.S. move could not be postponed. As part of the national celebrations that the country witnesses every year in February, the Public Authority for Manpower organized a flag-hoisting ceremony. The ceremony was attended by employees and media personnel at the headquarters of the authority. More details in the following report by Hiba Abdurrahman.
Marking the beginning of the national celebrations across the country, the Public Authority for the Manpower held a flag-hoisting ceremony at its headquarters in Rugai area.
First of all, allow me to congratulate His Highness the Amir, Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jabir Al-Sabah, for the beginning of our National Day celebration. And today we have the ceremony of the flag hoisting here in the Public Authority of Manpower, and may Allah protect our lovely Kuwait and keep it safe for all.
The event included a delightful performance from a national band which entertained the attendees. A number of the authority's employees, visitors of the place, in addition to media personnel, attended also the event. From the headquarters of the Public Authority of Manpower in Rugai area.
The Petroleum Research Center of the Kuwaiti Institute for Scientific Research held the 19th Joint Kuwaiti-Japanese Symposium entitled Developments in the Oil Industries. The symposium is organized by the Petroleum Research Center of Kisr, the Kuwait National Petroleum Company, the Japanese Petroleum Corporation Center, and the Japan Petroleum Institute. Our reporter Hadil Fahed has more.
The Research Institute organized a joint symposium between Kuwait and Japan entitled The Role of Research and Development in the Future of Heavy Oil Use and Its Improvement, Solutions and Mitigation of Problems.
There is a lot of mutual interest in development of research, R&D in Kuwait through the Institute. The Japanese, our experts joined in the joint research in petroleum and agriculture was in the early stages of development of the Institute. This relationship continued in time. We have several collaborations. This collaboration is extended through joint research projects, training of our scientists, staff from the PRC in Japan, and also hosting experts to work in the Institute in research and development, especially in the petroleum sector.
The symposium will be held to promote scientific enrichment and exchange of experiences. The program included a discussion of the problems of corrosion to which KMPC refineries and exposed by providing solutions to reduce them.
The topics of this year's symposium include advancement in petroleum refining processes, optimization of feedstock properties, preparation of nano-sized membranes, hydrocarbon separation through membranes, green initiatives in the refining industry, CO2 capture and absorption, the behavior and sustainability of materials and corrosion mitigation, the stringent environmental regulations, and the continued decline in the oil price have put additional responsibilities on the industry to adopt innovative technologies and sharing knowledge to reduce operating costs, to produce high-quality finished products, and to mitigate corrosion-related issues.
The aspects of cooperation are represented in various activities through participation in joint research projects aimed at developing solutions to the problems facing the oil sector in Kuwait.
Ministry of Information's Undersecretary Munir Al-Huwaidi stated that Kuwait Pavilion at Dubai Expo 2020 will be a major icon that attracts the attention of visitors from all over the world. In a press conference, Al-Huwaidi, who is the Commissioner General of Kuwait at Expo 2020, underlined the details of the Kuwaiti Pavilion, noting that since receiving the invitation to participate in the Dubai Expo, Kuwait began working at all levels to ensure a successful participation in this global event. The Undersecretary emphasized that the government's keenness to participate in this international forum stems from the quest to introduce the world to Kuwait and the strategic projects and ambitious initiatives it adopts to achieve developmental goals according to the vision of New Kuwait 2035. Al-Huwaidi affirmed that Kuwait chose to have its pavilion in the sustainability axis under the title New Kuwait New Investment Opportunities for Sustainability, stems from the vision of His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jabr Al-Sabah, to rely on renewable energy and in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Program. The expo will start on the 20th of October, will end on April 10th of 2021, and will be held in the southern region of the Emirate of Dubai, near Al Maktoum International Airport. Kuwait's Health Minister, Dr. Bassel Sabah, said that there were no cases of the new coronavirus infection in Kuwait. Moreover, Kuwait's Public Authority for Food and Nutrition declared that there are no recommendations for nations to ban the import of foods from China, stressing on abiding by health and hygiene standards during the consumption of food. With the death toll now at 490, the virus originated in the central Chinese city of Wuhan late last year, spreading to other cities including Beijing and Shanghai, in addition to the United States, Thailand, South Korea, and Japan, amongst other countries, noting that 99% of cases are in China and 97% of deaths are in Hubei province. More details with Hind Khazal.
Kuwait's Health Minister Dr. Bassel Sabah said that no cases of infection with the novel strain of coronavirus have been reported in Kuwait. Underlining Kuwait's readiness to deal with the epidemic, the minister told Parliament that few of protective measures have been put in place to keep the illness at bay. The minister explained that the measures include screening and testing passengers at Kuwait International Airport to determine if they showed sign of fever and respiratory illness, or if they have been in contact with a sick person, revealing that special emergency teams have been assembled to assist passengers. Adding that a plethora of seminars and workshops have taken place in Kuwait and the Gulf region. Kuwait's Public Authority for Food and Nutrition said that the World Health Organization has not issued any recommendations for nations to ban the import of foods from China, neither has any country done so. Deputy Director Reem Al-Flage said that based on scientific evidence from global organizations such as WHO and other food safety bodies, food has not been identified as likely source of transmission of the new coronavirus. Kuwaiti public was urged to abide by health and hygiene standards during the consumption of food, including the need to ensure the meats are cooked well before eating. Furthermore, deaths from the new virus rose to 490 in mainland China, and the number of new cases increased to 24,324 as China moved patients into newly built or converted hospitals in the hardest hit city of Wuhan. Hong Kong reported its first coronavirus death on Tuesday, the second outside mainland China from a fast-spreading outbreak that has killed 427 people and threaten the global economy. Consequently, hospitals workers are striking to demand that the border from mainland China be shut completely to ward off the virus. But 4 new cases of the virus have been reported, indicating community transmission. Moreover, the State Department said that the United States evacuated more than 300 people on 2 new flights out of Wuhan, China, after confirming 11 cases of infection in the United States. So far, 27 cases of person-to-person spread of the virus have been documented in 9 countries outside of China. Therefore, World Health Organization Director General Tedros told its executive board that the UN agency was sending masks, gloves, and nearly 18,000 gowns from its warehouses to some 24 countries that need support.
That's it for tonight. Join us again next week for more weekly news highlights.